Jungwon was a powerful mafia boss, and everyone around him knew that his enemies were not people to take lightly. But there was one person he was even more careful about than himself, his wife, Vian. He loved her deeply, and because of his dangerous life, he never wanted her to be alone without protection. After receiving a warning from one of his men that someone had been watching Vian, Jungwon decided to take extra precautions. He assigned Minho, his most trusting bodyguard, to stay with her whenever he could not. Minho had worked for Jungwon for years. He was calm, smart, and extremely loyal. Jungwon trusted him with his life, so trusting him with Vian's safety was easy. Vian, however, found Minho far too serious when she first met him. Vian, do you ever smile? Minho looked at her calmly. Minho, sometimes. Vian, I haven't seen it. Minho, maybe you are not funny enough. Vian stared at him for a second before laughing. Vian, oh, so you can joke. That was the beginning of their friendship. During the following days, Vian slowly got Minho to open up. She talked to him during long car rides, sharing snacks with him, complained about Jungwon's habit of working too much, and teased Minho whenever he stood around looking too serious. Minho started teasing her back. Soon their conversations became natural. Vian would sometimes turn around while walking and ask him random questions, and Minho would answer with a straight face even when the question was completely ridiculous. One afternoon, they went to a small cafe because Vian wanted something sweet. Minho stayed close to her, keeping an eye on the entrance and the people around them. Vian, you can relax. We are just getting cake. Minho, I am working. Vian, you make eating cake sound like a military mission. Minho, with you it might be. Vian laughed and pushed a small piece of cake toward him. Vian, here, eat. Minho, I'm not hungry. Vian, then consider it an order. He finally took the bite and Vian smiled proudly. Minho, you are becoming difficult. Vian, I am Jungwon's wife. I am allowed. Minho shook his head, but a small smile appeared on his face. Neither of them noticed the man sitting outside the cafe watching them for a moment before leaving. Then Minho did. His expression immediately became serious. Minho, Vian, we are leaving. Vian noticed the change in his voice and did not argue. Vian, what happened? Minho, nothing, just stay close to me. He guided her outside and kept himself between her and the street until they reached the car. He checked the surroundings carefully before opening her door. Minho was not simply following her around, he was genuinely protecting her. That evening, Jungwon came home earlier than expected. As soon as he entered, he found Vian sitting in the living room with Minho. They were laughing over something on her phone. Jungwon stopped for a moment. He smiled when he saw Vian happy, but then Minho said something that made her laugh. Jungwon's smile slowly disappeared. It walked toward them. Jungwon, what's so funny? Vian looked up happily. Vian, Jungwon, Minho was telling me about something embarrassing that happened to him years ago. Minho immediately shook his head. Minho, I never said you could tell him. Vian, too late. Jungwon looked between them. Jungwon, you two seem close. Vian smiled. Vian, we are friends. Jungwon nodded slowly. Jungwon, I see. He knew there was nothing wrong with it. Minho was loyal and he trusted Vian more than his life. Still something about seeing them laugh together bothered him. He did not say anything. Instead, he sat beside Ryan and casually placed his arm around her shoulders. Ryan looked at him with a small smile. Ryan, you're home early? Jungwon, I wanted to see my wife. Jungwon looked at Minho with sharp eyes. Minho understood immediately and quietly stood up. Minho, I'll check the outside perimeter. Ryan watched him leave before looking at Jungwon. Ryan, why did you do that? Jungwon, do what? Ryan, make him leave. Jungwon looked innocent. Jungwon, I didn't. Ryan narrowed her eyes. Ryan, you definitely did. Jungwon smiled and pulled her a little closer. Jungwon, I just missed you. Ryan's expression softened. Ryan, you could have just said that without doing that. Jungwon, I know. He kissed her forehead gently and she rested her head against his shoulder. For now, Ryan thought her husband's behavior was simply because he had missed her. But Jungwon knew something had changed. He trusted Minho, he trusted Ryan. Yet somehow seeing his wife laugh with another man had awakened a strange feeling he had never expected to have. Jealousy. Over the next few days, Jungwon started noticing how close Ryan and Minho had become. They were always laughing about something, arguing over silly things, or teasing each other whenever they were together. While Jungwon knew their relationship was innocent. One afternoon, Jungwon came home earlier than planned and found Ryan and Minho in the kitchen. Ryan was trying to reach a jar from the top shelf while Minho stood nearby. Ryan, Minho, help me. Minho, you are standing on a chair. Ryan, exactly. Help me before I fall. Minho quickly took the jar and handed it to her. Ryan, see, this is why I like having you around. Jungwon, who had just entered the room, heard this last sentence. Jungwon, you like having him around? Both of them turned. Ryan immediately noticed the look on her husband's face. Ryan, Jungwon, don't start. Jungwon walked toward her with a small smile. Jungwon, I didn't say anything. Minho tried not to laugh. Minho, I'll leave you two alone. Minho walked away. Ryan looked at Jungwon. Ryan, you were jealous again. Jungwon, I wasn't. Ryan, you were. Jungwon sighed and gently pulled her closer by the waist. Jungwon, maybe I was a little. Ryan smiled. Ryan, why? You know I love you. Jungwon looked into her eyes. Jungwon, I know that's why I hate that I am feeling this way. He knew Minho was the reason Ryan was sick. Whenever he could not be there, he could not simply remove him because of his own jealousy. Minho was the person Jungwon trusted most, and Jungwon knew that Ryan trusted him too. Later that evening, Ryan and Minho were sitting in the living room watching a horror movie. Minho made a silly comment and Ryan burst into laughter. Jungwon walked in and watched them for a few seconds. Instead of interrupting them, he walked straight to Ryan, gently held her face and gave her a soft kiss on the lips. Ryan blinked in surprise when he pulled away. Jungwon looked at Minho with a calm expression. Jungwon, I just wanted to remind everyone that she is my wife. Minho stared at him before laughing. Minho, said nobody forgot. Ryan covered her face, laughing. Ryan, Jungwon. Jungwon, smiling, sat beside her, keeping an arm around her. Minho shook his head. think someone is jealous. Jungwon, keep talking and you'll regret it. Minho, see, definitely jealous. Wine laughed even harder and Jungwon could not help smiling too. A few days later, Wine was coming downstairs while carrying a box from the storage room. She was halfway down when her foot suddenly slipped on the edge of a step. Wine, ah! Jungwon had just entered the house and was still some distance away when he saw her lose her balance. His heart immediately dropped. Before he could reach her, Minho, who was just arrived from bed and was closer, quickly stepped forward and caught Wine by the arm, steadying her before she could fall. Minho, careful. Wine held onto the railing, looking a little startled. Minho, are you okay? Before Wine could answer, Jungwon hurried toward them. Jungwon, Wine. She looked up and immediately saw her husband coming toward her. Wine, Jungwon, I am okay. Jungwon reached her and gently held her shoulders, looking over her face and arms to make sure she was not hurt. Jungwon, did you hurt yourself? Wine, no, I'm fine, really. Jungwon still looked worried. He pulled her into his arms and held her tightly for a moment before kissing the top of her head. Jungwon, you scared me. Wine hugged him back. Wine, I'm sorry, I just slipped. Jungwon, you could have fallen. Wine, but I didn't. She smiled softly, tried to reassure him. Jungwon took a small breath before looking toward Minho. Jungwon, thank you. Minho nodded. Minho, of course, I was close enough to catch her. Jungwon glanced at the stairs and then back at Wine. Jungwon, and what were you doing carrying that? Wine looked at the boxes Minho was now holding. Wine, I was just bringing this downstairs. Minho, and apparently decided she could do it while carrying a box. Wine looked at him. Wine, I was perfectly capable, Minho, until you almost fell. Wine, you are becoming annoying. Minho smiled. Minho, you are becoming a troublesome little sister. Wine laughed. Wine, thank you, brother. Jungwon watched the two of them for a moment. There was something so natural about the way they spoke to each other. No awkwardness, no hidden meaning. Just the comfortable teasing of two people who had genuinely become close. And suddenly Jungwon understood. He had been jealous of the wrong thing. Minho was not trying to take Wine's attention. Seeing Minho catch her without hesitation made Jungwon realize that assigning him to Wine had been one of the best decisions he had made. Later that evening, Wine found Jungwon sitting quietly in the bedroom. Wine, what's wrong? Jungwon pulled her gently onto the bed beside him. Jungwon, nothing, I realized something today. Wine, what? Jungwon smiled. Jungwon, I am an idiot. Wine immediately laughed. Wine, I already knew that. Jungwon shook his head, smiling. Jungwon, I was jealous of Minho for no reason. I know he would protect you with his life. I know you trust him. And I know he's basically your brother. Wine smiling rested her head against his shoulder. Wine, so you are finally admitting it? Jungwon, yes. Wine, good. Jungwon, but I'm still allowed to be jealous sometimes. Wine laughed softly. Wine, only a little. Jungwon wrapped his arms around her. Jungwon, deal. He kissed her forehead and then gave her a soft kiss on the lips. Jungwon, I love you. Wine smiled against his shoulder. Wine, I love you too, jealous husband. And from that day on, Jungwon stopped seeing Minho as someone taking his wife's attention. He was simply the annoying older brother Ryan had gained and the trusted man Jungwon could rely on to keep her safe when he could not be there.